One of the most misunderstood modalities for health and wellness these days is sound therapy, sound, resonance, frequency, and vibration. And so in this video, I wanted to share with you through the wonders of cymatics what it looks like whenever a cell in our body is stressed and whenever a cell in our body is healthy. And the difference between the two is the way that they are vibrating, the frequency that they are emitting. And I'm going to get that to you here. I'm going to show it on the screen here in a moment. But first, I want to clarify what it means. And I've talked about this in the past, but it is very well worth repeating on a regular basis. I want to talk about what the meaning is of raise your vibration. It's been said many times, and you've heard it many, many times, but the actual process of raising our vibrations and the benefits that come with that, I believe are vague, and I believe are not really drawn out in such a way to make it easy for those that are just new to this arena or this understanding, this knowing, and this practice. And so what I want to do today is I want to share with you the importance of that. And then through science, I'm going to essentially prove to you what the difference is between a cell that is not at a high vibrational frequency and what that looks and sounds like, and one that is, and what that looks and sounds like. So when it comes to raising your vibration, what does that mean? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do we do it? And why? Why should we? Well, raising your vibration simply means the emotional quality of the state of being that you are in, right? So whenever we think of, I don't know if you've ever seen one of the emotional charts that are actually tied to, and if you scroll in some of my videos on my Instagram channel, you'll see one there about how to raise your vibration. I go over the different frequency levels of emotions and what frequency they equate to. And these are all things that have been measured, can be measured, and are proven and have been proven in science through the wonders of science. So there's no more ability for naivety or ignorance to say, I don't know what that is or what that means, because I'm going to explain it to you here. So in very simple forms, whenever you're in a low vibrational state, right, that means that you're anxious, you're feeling anxiety, maybe tightness in the chest, you're stressed out, you're battling with maybe depression, you're in a fight or flight mode, you're constantly on the go, you're irritable, you're maybe not getting enough rest, you're constantly wondering or in a fear state of, oh, what's going on in the state of the world? Am I going to have enough? Do I feel like I have enough? Oh, I'm experiencing so much fear, so much anxiety because I watch the news, or because of what's going on in other countries, or because of what might happen here, or what people are saying could happen here. And so that brings on a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. And the biggest reason why these things are happening is because it's the unknown, right? Whenever we are in a state of unknowing, we feel like we're not in control. And as human beings, we like to be in control. And when we feel like we're not in control, that brings on a state of anxiety. And if we have a poor ability to be able to manage this state, then that can lead into depression. And then from that, if your body is in this state for extended periods of time, then that's going to lead to sickness. First, it's going to look like, catching of a lot of colds or the things that go around. And then one day it could show up, in a essentially a more bad illness or sickness, maybe cancer, maybe some other sort of disease. Maybe it's classified as hereditary, but in reality, it's because the cells within your body have been operating at such a lower vibrational state for so long that it's suppressed your immune system, and it's disallowed your immune system from doing what it needs to do. And so therefore, any virus that is floating around or anything that is going around, your body takes it on, and it doesn't have the energy. It doesn't have the vibrational qualities to fight it. And so that's what it's like to be in a low vibrational state. Now, in a high vibrational state, all you have to do is think about what's the opposite of fear. What's the opposite of anxiety? What's the opposite of feeling out of control, right? So, well, the opposite of fear is probably happiness, right? Stability. You're not feeling, unstable anymore. You're feeling more in control. You're feeling, joy and happiness. Let's look at anger as well. A lot of this lower vibrational state can trigger anger much more easily inside of us. So what's the opposite of anger? The opposite of anger is love, right? The opposite of anger is gratitude and love and joy and happiness and bliss. And so when you look at the flip side of the coin, they're both two sides to the same coin, which are our emotions. And on one side, those are lower vibrational qualities, and on the other side, those are higher vibrational qualities. And those emotional qualities actually carry a resonant frequency. They carry a resonance to them. And that resonance, which again has been proved by science, comes from our heart. Our heart emits one of the most powerful electromagnetic currents or frequencies out of all of the organs in the body. And so when that emits out of us, depending on whatever state that is that it carries, that you're in, if you're in a love, a bliss, a joyful state, or if you're in an irritable, angry, and just really upset state or a depressed state, that resonance, that frequency is transmitting through your heart. It's transmitting not only to every cell within your body, but also to those in your immediate area, which is why you can sometimes feel, as they say, boy, you could cut that tension with a knife because it was so thick that you can feel it. And the reason why it's there and you can feel it is because there's an off-putting of an electromagnetic frequency, a very thick one, and we're feeling that. We're feeling that tension that someone else is putting off. And vice versa, if you've ever been in a room where everybody's just, if you've ever gone to a group meditation or a group yoga or some kind of high vibe exercise or high vibe group experience, you come out feeling good. And when you walk in, you're like, wow, this space feels good because it's higher energy. And you feel that and you take that on too. So that's what the difference is between a high vibration and a low vibration. And because of these vibrational qualities that we carry on throughout the day, we could start our day off in a high vibration because maybe we woke up and we rolled over and we saw our loved one and they brought a smile to our face and we just kind of woke up thinking of all the wonderful possibilities and the positive things that could happen that day. And then maybe halfway through the day, we can cross somebody who we'll call a Debbie Downer, right? Someone who always loves to bring the news or share the latest tragedy or the latest negative conspiracy theory or whatnot with you. And that just puts you in a state of fear, or puts you in a state of unknowing. Or maybe they just love sharing bad news. Everybody knows someone like that. And so then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have heard that or saw that or whatever, because that brought you down. That energy brings you down and it saps you of all your energy because you're not able to produce more energy freely, just like you are when you're in a higher vibrational state. And so it's important for us to be aware of our emotional state, so that way when we feel ourselves being drawn down by our environment, or allowing ourselves to stay in those lower emotional states for a long time, we can take ourselves out of those. And that's all through the power of visualization. We can do that through pictures and videos that help stimulate our imagination. We can do that through calling up of memories of wonderful, great times, people, places, things that put us in a good mood, that make us feel good. Like our children or our dogs or our spouses, someone or something that evokes a feeling of love. And if we hold on to that feeling through some breathing while we charge ourselves back up with oxygen and energy and source energy, then we can bring our vibrational state back up to where it should be. And so that is essentially the difference between a high vibration and a low vibration. But that is just me sharing all of this wonderful knowledge and technically and technologically proven, scientifically proven knowledge with you. So what I want to do now is I want to show you the difference between a stressed cell, what a cell that is stressed actually sounds like and looks like. What is it? What's the kind of vibrational qualities? And then we're going to contrast that with a normal, good, healthy cell. And I want you to see the difference there, because sometimes it's not until we see the difference that we're able to really fully grasp it and then be aware of it and that going on within our own body. So right now on this slide, I'm going to show you what a stressed cell looks and sounds like. Here we go. Wow, that's pretty wild, isn't it? Did you notice how sporadic it was? Did you also notice the sound that it was making? What did that sound like? Some people have described it as it sounded like it was kind of crying for help. And some people, and like myself, have described it as like static on a TV or on a radio. And if you're old enough to know what it's like to have to flip through the channels of a TV or a radio station, and when you're not getting a strong signal, it's static, right? It sounds just like that. And so just like on a TV, just like on a radio station, when our cell isn't able to put out a strong enough signal, it sounds like static. Isn't that interesting? So now, what does a healthy cell look and sound like? All right, here we go. This is a healthy cell. Okay. Wow, what a difference, right? What a difference between the two. You can hear the humming, right? The humming. And you can see that while the cymatic character of that cell changed, it had a good, consistent change through it. And if you look very closely within that cymatic signature, you can see good, clean, established geometry. Whenever the frequency came through strong enough and loud enough, you could see in that water, in that vibrational character of the water, you could see a good, strong geometry that came in from time to time. Whereas on the stressed cell, there really was no established, strong geometric shape. And if you know anything about cymatics and sound waves, that there are geometric shapes that are carried through specific frequencies. And those are either upright and they are good positive geometric shapes, or they're inverted and they're negative geometric shapes. So that's pretty awesome. So what did you think about that? Go ahead, leave your comment below. And I wanted to share this with you because so many times it's not until we have that visual, right, of actually seeing it, what a stressed cell is like. Wow, what's a healthy cell look like? And wow, so you mean that whenever I'm depressed and whenever I'm not feeling good and whenever I'm in a low state, my cells are sounding and looking like that? And the answer is yes, all of your cells. Because all of our cells, the cellular wall, is 42% water, a little over between 40 and 50% water. And everyone knows that water carries resonance and frequency, right? And if you're just new to this, I'm sure you've heard of whales and dolphins, and sound carries through water. And sound also has a structure to it. And so whenever that cell is unhealthy and it is in a lower vibrational character or quality, the cell walls become weakened. And so that's why you have that whole dissonance that is happening. But in a healthy cell, and cells are everything. Cells are in our hair, our follicles, our skin, our blood, our DNA, all the way through. And whenever we are in a very stressed state, we are doing that to every cell. There's trillions of cells in our body. So imagine trillions of cells in your body crying out for help and having static. But you are in control of that, and you can change your emotional state. So do exercises every day to keep yourself in a state of gratitude. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you've gotten. Be grateful for what's coming to you. Establish a sense of love for yourself, most importantly, and then love for those around us, because we cannot love those around us unless we love ourselves first. And focus on those feelings. And as you focus on those feelings, and if you make that a daily practice, then you begin to raise your vibration. You get to vibe high, as another saying goes. And when you continually vibe high, you literally raise yourself above sickness, above imbalance, above all of these disorders that are directly associated and connected to low resonant frequencies of our cells. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned a lot. And if you did, please leave a comment below. Follow me for more. If you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe. If you're on my Instagram, like or follow me for more, as I share stuff like this on a regular basis. Take care, be well, and be blessed.